Hello, my name is Jeanette Fulmer, and today I'm going to be showing you the resources available on the State Library of Kansas. This is where you can find databases for research. If you're working on some kind of paper or assignment, this is a good place to go. So, we've just followed the link, we've gone straight to the State Library of Kansas website. This is our homepage right here. And if you scroll down, there are lots of different resources available to us. Plenty of things worth exploring. Today, though, we're focusing on this one right here, Find Online Databases. That is our destination. If we follow this link, we then are brought to a screen that has all of the different databases that are free to Kansas citizens. Any user accessing this site from a Kansas IP address is able to go to all of these different sites and use them for research. All these subscriptions are paid for you. This is a fantastic resource and it comes to us free. So, this is where all the databases are stored. They are separated in lots of different genres. If there is something specific that you are looking for or an area that you need to research, there might be a section for it here on the Kansas website. We even have some in Spanish as well as English. The section we're looking at today is all going to be found under general research. For the most part, when you write papers for your research here at Rock Creek, most of the sources you can find are going to be found under this section that will be most helpful to you. Today we're going to explore two of them. Those are Britannica Academic and Explora Multisearch. If we click on View Links, we'll see that there are even more options to choose from. Some of these other sources might be great to look at too, depending on what it is you're researching. Britannica Academic and Explora Multisearch are general resource sites. They have information on many different topics, and they're a good starting place if you're not quite sure what you're going to be researching yet. So we're going to start by looking at Britannica Academic. And here we are. Here is our homepage for Britannica. There is Britannica Academic, and there is also Britannica Public Library. Both are good sources. For your purposes today, I would recommend the academic one. Once you're here, we have a search bar up top. This is where you can type in your search terms. We can look for articles, videos, primary sources, journals, periodicals. There's also some advanced searching settings that could be interesting for you. For today, I'm going to go ahead and do a practice search. Since our upcoming paper is all about world cultures, we're going to start by picking a place on the globe. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my subject. Let's go with a one-word search term for right now and see what comes up. And right away it tells me I have 411 results. You can sort of scroll through this list. You can see what's available. They get more specific as we go. Some of these might be helpful for my paper, others maybe not so much for what I'm looking for, but it's good to see what resources we have. I'll go ahead and click on the first option we have and show you some of the neat features that Britannica Academic comes with. When I've arrived at my article, the article is all found right here. This is a lengthier one, so I'll scroll down and see what all there is. Or I could use the table of contents off to the left-hand side. For longer articles that may be broken up this way, you have a chance to look at the different headings and the different things that are going to be covered in this article. This is also helpful as you begin your research process, and if you're not sure if a resource will be helpful to you or not, check out the table of contents. This can give you a good idea if the resource will serve your purposes. There's also a profile for this particular one, gives some basic information about my general topic. But here at the top is where I want to direct your attention. Most articles you find on Britannica Academic are going to have the same availability. They start with the article. You could also choose to look directly at the images and the video that are linked with this article topic. The Related tab is also interesting. This will pull up other articles found in the encyclopedia that are related to the topic you've chosen. This is a good way to branch out your research, maybe even get some new ideas about what you could include in your writing. You can also view the article history and see when the article was edited last, and make sure that it is current and up to date. And then finally, the most important aspect I can show you right now of Britannica and how it operates is the toolbar up at the top. There's lots of features here that are going to be useful to you as a student writer. First, you can share the article. You can send it to your email. If you find something that you want to mark and use for later, send it to yourself so that you have access to it. You could also post it directly to Google Classroom if you have an assignment that you're working on there. You don't have an account, so the favorites button isn't super helpful to you. However, if you like to print out the resource, you have that option. Skipping this one for now, you can also choose to translate the article if you would like to view it in another language, and you can listen to the article. These are great features that Britannica has to make their articles more accessible to all of their users. You can change the font size up or down for accessibility. And then finally, my favorite button right here, and yours as well, this is a cite button. This is a nice thing for us as we are learning and working on citations. If I plan to use this article in my writing, I need to make sure that I cite it. And if we click on our cite tool, it has some options for us. Britannica will actually create a citation for the article it gives you. You can select the style that you need. As high school students, in your English classes, you are always going to be using MLA. So make sure it is on the right one. And then it gives you the citation right here. Now, it's still useful and important to know what MLA citation looks like so that you can recognize if it is done properly, but this saves you some work. This is a great step and an awesome tool that you can and should use in your writing. So there's a quick tutorial on how Britannica Academic works and looks. It's a very user-friendly site and has information on many, many topics. It's an encyclopedia, and so almost anything you would want to research, you're going to find something here. Now, it's usually general information, which is a great starting place. Might work well for some papers, might not work so well for others, but it's an excellent place to start, and it's a good resource to know. We're going to go back to our Kansas database right now and our list of general research databases. We just checked out Britannica Academic. We're going to move down to, and we're going to look at Explora Multisearch. This is the other database that I would recommend to you for your general research purposes. Come check here, see if it has anything that you can use. Same deal. We have a search bar up top. I'm going to type in my exact same search. I'm still working on this paper. I want to see what resources they might have. And here we are, right? I can see right away there are many results to choose from. I can tell that several of these will not be helpful for my particular purpose, but I should find something that I can use and work with in my paper. Now, for several topics, depending on what your search is, there are many different topics on this site that have a topic overview. For our world culture paper, if you are starting with by searching for a country, it will almost always have a topic overview. So it's a good place to start. Others we find in ebooks, reference entries, peer-reviewed articles. It tells you what type of source it is right at the top. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, that is helpful to know. We also have some filters at the top that will allow us to narrow down our search. We want to leave on the online full text. This is helpful for us because if you, we want to make sure that you have access to the entire text if it helps you. By having this filter on, it will only show you text that you can find the entirety of the article or the resource. You can also choose to turn on the peer-reviewed filter. If this is on, it will only show you articles that have been peer-reviewed by fellow scholars. This is an extra credibility check. So when you are searching for credible and reliable sources, this is a great way to do it. If it has been peer-reviewed, that has an extra stamp of approval. Elevates the article just a little bit. Depending on what research you are doing, peer-reviewed might be required or it might not, but it's valuable for you to know and understand which articles are and what falls into this category. We can see there are significantly fewer peer-reviewed articles than there are general, but there's still a wealth of information there. I'm sure I can find something that will help me with my search. We can also look at the timeline. I can narrow it down to more recent articles published by the last year, the last 5 years, or the last 10 years. Or we can search for articles no matter what time they are. And we can narrow down the source type as well. We can search only for academic journals, magazines, reviews. If I take my peer review filter off, my source type is going to open up. I'll have a lot more to choose from, right? Trade publications, reports, news. Those do not come in a peer-reviewed variety, but depending on my research needs, they might still be helpful to us. And I want to show you some of the features when you actually click into a resource found from Explora. I'm going to go ahead and find myself a peer-reviewed article. And this first one looks interesting. Enduring cycles documenting dairying in Mongolia and the Alps. So I'll go ahead and click into my article. Now, this is a peer-reviewed article. I can look at my access options. I can choose to see the full text online, or I can view it as a PDF. I could even download it as a PDF and save it to a file where I can access it later. Right here at the top, it gives me some great publication information. I know the authors who contributed, I know the document type, publication information, and various subject terms. This would help me if I could decide right away if these terms match along the lines of what I want to research. I can tell if this is going to be a useful resource or not. It also gives me word count and other information I can use to find this particular article. I'm going to click on the full PDF viewing. There we are. So here is my full article. And I could read the article. I'm sure there's some great stuff in there. What I want to direct your attention to right now is our toolbar, which is found at the top of our screen. I could bookmark this item if I had an account here. I could also send it to myself. The share button is how I could send it to my own Google Drive, Google Classroom, or I could send it in an email to myself as well. If I find an article that I like and I want to keep hold of, this is a great way to keep track of them. As with Britannica, you have the option to print your article. If you would like to print and take notes on paper, that is an option for you. And then this site, like Explora as well, has one of our favorite features, and it is the quotation mark symbol right here. This is our cite button. So we'll click on that. And just like it did with our encyclopedia entry, it will create a citation for you. Now, for this one in particular, you have to make sure you select the right style. As high school English students, we are always looking for MLA. They even specify that this is the 9th edition, that is the most recent. And once we've clarified that, our works cited reference appears right here. This is the works cited. Again, it's still important for you to know and recognize what MLA looks like, but we love tools that are able to help us as we grow as writers. And so this is another tool that you can use in your writing process. So those are some of the options that we have when we're looking at articles that appear on Explora Multisearch. Every article you check out will have that toolbar available to you, so we can hopefully get some good information from here. These are the two primary sources that we use in 9th and 10th grade when we do research. I imagine you will come back to those and revisit them at some point in your 11th and 12th grade career, but also recognize there are lots of different general research databases that are available to you for free on the State Library of Kansas. This is a great resource for us, and hopefully after watching this, you understand how to use it just a little bit better. Happy researching.